exactly 12 minutes on top of the hour, 1 p.m. Thank you so much for choosing and making Pepeta TV 1 p.m. news bulletins to be your favorite source of news. We surely do not take that for granted. Good afternoon. Welcome to this broadcast. This afternoon, we have quite a lot lined up for you, including the recent robbery that has raised eyebrows over the country now. And these are the news that are making headlines this afternoon. Suspects linked to a string of high-end estate robberies across Nairobi and its outskirts will spend more days in police custody. The 6 suspects who were arrested after they broke into a house in Nairobi South B will face burglary charges. Still on the corridors of justice, a woman has been arraigned for allegedly spreading defamatory information against another woman via WhatsApp.
Suspects we honor are persons of interest. I have received so many calls from other parts of the country, as far as from Mombasa, the DCI Mombasa, after they had seen the incident in the media, Your Honor. Your Honor, I have to carry out some data analysis on the suspects and also to gather more statements from other witnesses with their own, Your Honor. They come from Parklands and Kilimani too.
Submissions fronted by the officer are basically sensational.
In fact, the IO has just whispered that the 6th respondent does not have a Kenyan national identification card, and he may be a Tanzanian national.
I'll give directions on Thursday. All of them will remain in custody until then.
Now moving on, season after season, a 27-year-old Indriski Prop has shown up determined, optimistic and fully prepared for police recruitment in Baringo. He has turned up 8 times, unrelenting in his pursuit, and has been turned away 8 times. Each time the answer has been the same, no. And the reason has been similar height. On Monday, the 17th of November 2025, during the police recruitment exercise in Baringo, his frustration at the missed opportunity could no longer be contained, and he spoke up against what perceived as being denied an opportunity to take up a career he really wanted.
Ni kitu gani mimi nimekosa mpaka watoto wengine wadogo mimi nimewalea, watoto wenye mimi niliwaona wakiwa wadogo na nasaidia wao kuwachunga. Hao wanakuja wananishinda, wanachukua jeshi, wanaenda, wengine wanachukua polisi, wanaenda, na mimi niko tu hapa. Watu wangapi wako na height kama mimi? Kama mnataka kunitoa kazi, mtoe kila mtu mwenye ako kwa hiyo idara na ako mfupi kama mimi.
And now moving on to matters politics, the political rivalry between former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and his successor Deputy President Kithure Kindiki is playing out in Mbeere North constituency as campaigns for the Mbeere North by-election gain momentum. The 2 politician heavyweights have been seen conducting grassroots campaigns, deploying door-to-door strategy and mingling with the locals in eateries across Mbeere in a bid to drum up support for their preferred candidate. And moving on, still on the same election, meanwhile, the opposition brigade, which pitched camp in Magarin constituency yesterday to campaign for its DCP candidate Stanley Kenga, is now claiming that the government is planning to rig the upcoming by-elections. And this comes as the ODM party and the Pamoja Africa Alliance join forces to campaign for the ODM candidate Harrison Kombe, promising to retain the seat they lost after court ruling.
Kila ninaposimamishwa, kila ninapotolewa bungeni, miradi yangu niliyoanzisha yote husimama.
Hivyo tunasema kura hapa Mambrui ni ya nani? Kura hapa ni ya nani? Sisi tumeshirikiana. Sisi tulikaa mkutano na rais, na huyu spika anajua, na mambo yote tukakubaliana.
Tutafanya vipi tarehe 27 kuhakikisha kwamba zile changamoto ambao wananchi wamezungumza hapa zimepata suluhisho, na tutafanya vipi ile miradi ambao gharama meacha itakamilishwa baada ya tarehe 27.
Of course, that news brings us to our first commercial break here at Pepeta TV 1 p.m. News bulletins. Don't go too far. I will be back with more news in details.
Tushangilie Kenya, taifa letu tukufu, Kenya tunayoipenda. Kenya nchi
Fanto vaitore chiye. Ichi tariki 22 mweri wa 11 mwaka gono ku nyumba ya Embassy Thika Road. Barambere kiriga Felix Muita umusubi wa bakamona nyamokoli kinyangi chihwena kisambara toka kyoboke. Ichi tariki 22 the Embassy ntolete bya baguru baivange bamahe bana bagoteta abarero nkabere bakorara nyore batokere mu byara urukungoro nonoro kangitanya hukingende mone omusacharacha kuya chombalinga katana gento nyore onde atetomokali abakyumutumba nkera monta gusoraragero motera nkuri yole ngibintara gutiyasa byanga gotoka ronde kwale basacha ngote tole omukali nyakwenya tale omurogi abo murogi sukale wakamuhaye bora agwita soki atanga gukura omona wane wanganora kweri nageye ndabatebi go bosani baba murano ubuya oracha kwerolenge gukiaro soho abo mumuro mosani orara oratebiga hano nanyorora kora masani ohenga kwa basacha abasacha na abantu bamongo hano mokali yako nabamura bagusika ngo tebirihiga urinende kukubura basani bono nobo ukagenda gukorunde ora mokali ali buhita imwemera witungu utara ibara tunja utara ibara kwewa ubutani bumurambuya ibure ko babora etabora chakogoto mosacha urusikorobo moka oganya bonga kwira gosego kyaronde omusacha okaba motambi somanyire gosemya na wiki okaba mwenye somanyire kobanga mohancho atakengi tiketi ya mapema uchagucha tosangi byakolya iritungu na amaiba kogaba kulya konoti muhungate inye isano muhungati ibere inye imu isato
Welcome back from that short commercial break. It was shorter indeed, and moving on to the next news that are making headline this afternoon is the late Wells Fargo Human Resource Director Willis Ayeko Sakila withdrew Kenya shillings 145,000 from his account. An M-Pesa shop attendant has told the court he testified that a middle-aged man used the deceased national ID card to make withdrawals of 45,000, 30,000 and 70,000 in separate installments. CCTV footage played in court showed the suspect receiving the cash before leaving the shop, and the prosecution presented the footage as part of efforts to link the transaction to the suspects on trial.
Alikupatia kitambulisho chenye jina la nani?
Late Wells Fargo, all right, moving on, the late Wells Fargo human resource director, that is the news that you were just watching there. And I believe that news brings us to the end of our broadcast this afternoon. Thank you so much for choosing and making Pepeta TV 1 PM news bulletins to be your favorite TV source of news. We surely do not take that for granted. And for those news in details, make sure that you follow us in all our social media platforms, on Facebook page, on Instagram, TikTok, and X at Pepeta TV. I've been your host, Chacha Tobias. I'll see you next time. I wish you a lovely day. Goodbye.
Tushangilie Kenya.